Hello everybody. It doesn't look like much, but this is a huge Coober Pedy opal, and it's one of the good ones too. It's one of the hard ones. So I did a video on this a while ago, and I'll just link that up here somewhere. But you can tell, hear that glassy effect. Whereas if I tap a random other opal, it's got more of a plasticky feel. So this is that real hard Coober Pedy stuff, very similar to Minterby looking stuff. And this is a 90 carat piece. It's absolutely huge. I previewed it in my last video, but just to show you now quickly. So long ways, bit over 2 inches, almost 55 mil. And sideways, it's a little bit of a uneven shape, but there you go, 28 and still over an inch. So it's going to be a huge piece. I don't know what shape I'm going to put it into. It'll depend on how the color faces and if there's any dull spots and whatnot. So we're not going to draw a stencil mark on it yet or anything like that. What we're going to do is rub off both sides most likely. If I dunk it in a little bit of water for us here, just so you can see the colour, it's got a beautiful green-blue crystal. It's a little bit closer to one side than the other, so this side seems to be much closer to it. You can see it on this side as well, it's more blue on this side. And this is pretty rough here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the really rough stuff using our standard sintered diamond burrs. So we'll start off with a really rough one and get fairly close to the color, but not too close. And then we'll go down and we'll probably do I normally go a black, a blue, and a yellow. Something like that is pretty good. Pretty good happy medium. I'm not entirely sure of the pattern, but it does seem very promising. So this is the second largest edge. There's a thin edge over here, but it's still got that blue-green all the way through. No reds or anything like that, but it could be an amazing piece. So we're just going to scrub it back in this video and it should give us a good idea of where we go from there. So let's reveal the face, maybe even both faces if it's going to be a nice double-sided piece. It is also really thick. I should just quickly show you how thick that is. So 3/10 of an inch, or yeah, just under 8 mil. So it's got plenty of opportunity to become a nice double-sided piece. And if we zoom out to give it a bit of perspective, numbers are always good, but sometimes people like to see it. My hands are fairly large, and this is a very large piece. Here's a wire wrap that I did the other day. That's a big stone. This is huge. So 90 carats, let's see what we can rub out of this one and decide on where we go from there. Well, this is probably a good lesson to be learnt. Size is not everything when it comes to opal. So this 90 carats really has this massive potch. Massive bar of potch that goes straight down the spine of it here. You can see beautiful crystal on the bottom half, beautiful crystal just up here. We're just off the face of it. So I've pulled up short with the coarse sintered. But if you look at this end here and we zoom right in, you can see here that there's this diagonal bar of just potch that cuts the piece in two. Up the other end it's not quite so bad, so it's all just crystal here, but the potch bar kind of stops just there and travels along the rest of the piece. So it's definitely a bit of an issue and has made it so that this won't just be one stone and not a nice big freeform of any kind, because I want to cut all of that middle out. So it might just be a matter of stenciling on a few things, getting a trim saw and just cutting it straight down the guts and working from there. Bit unfortunate, there's still a couple bits and pieces on this side. I mean, I spent 30 minutes just grinding back the sides on this. It's such a big piece, it's such a pain to do with a rotary tool. The flex shaft gets a lot of work in this piece. But, you know what, it will produce a couple stones. They're just not going to be one massive 70 carat stone or anything like that. You're looking at a whole heap of much smaller stones. So, a bit unfortunate, but a very good lesson to be learnt for all the beginners out there. I get a lot of people sending me parcels and saying, oh look, I can buy this 200 carats and it's pretty cheap, and I can see 3 stones in it that look like they'll cut real well, or for the same price I can get this 450 carat parcel. I might go for the 450 carat, and I always say just go for that one that you can see those guaranteed stones. You'll make back your money on that one. That 450 carat parcel, it's got maybe a whole heap of stones in it, but you can't see any of them being guaranteed cuts. So you just got to be careful and weigh them up. Definitely don't buy or not buy a parcel based on its carat size. Definitely look at the quality of the stuff. This is still pretty good quality, just a bit unlucky with the center guts there. And God, is it hard. It was like cutting bathroom tiles. It's so hard for Coober Pedy material. Very reminiscent of Minterby, and unfortunately this kind of potchy bar in the middle of it reminds me a bit of Minterby as well. But yeah, I think we'll have to come back to this stone at a later date after I slice it up the middle. Maybe I'll do a slice. It's a pretty tough slice to do with a Dremel. That's pretty hard. I'd rather take it to a friend's place, get the trim saw on it and just buzz it straight down the middle and then go from there with the Dremel. So I think that's what'll happen, and I think it is about time I worked on a piece of boulder opal. So I will dig up a piece of boulder and we'll get to work on that now, because this one's been a little bit disappointing for me. So I'll try to pick a boulder. It'll still be a bit of a gamble, I reckon. I don't have any really nice pieces at the moment, I don't think. But I'll have a dig around and see what I can find. So yeah, I'll see you in that video. Sorry this one was a bit of a bummer, but it's a good lesson. Size isn't everything. And sometimes it just needs a lot more work than you expect. We'll still get something out of it. And you'll see that on the channel later on.